we will show you that. And the BIM central repository for all information, we are working on that there will be an official repository drawer, let's say, for everybody to catch information. So you see logos here. On the left, we have the FCSI TED, Technical Committee. They are working very hard. In the past, these were the pioneers for food service equipment, BIM and Revit. We have HKI, which is leading the food service equipment category, not only HKI, but the whole association in German-speaking language. We have the colleagues from France, from SINEC, that took over the French chapter. We have on the European level FCSI, which is creating a working group specific for BIM. We have also a cooperation with Building Smart for the Open BIM, and we are creating in these days a group in order to become the official FCSI, food service equipment working group for BIM in Building Smart. And we have then the IFSE, which is the International Food Service Equipment Parameter Group that sits together once a year, embrace practically worldwide all categories in order to bring forward a common policy, a common guideline. Starting from the Americas, there was shortly a letter coming out from the TAD President Bill Caruso, saying that they have asked an external specialized company to help to put together a guideline that should help us to be aligned with the last, let's say, workflows, because in fact we are from the food service equipment industry. We are a little bit the little small child in the big container of BIM, and we should also know how to work with the external architects, with all the rest of the people, not only with ourselves. So a guideline will help, and of course the guideline should be also to explain to the associated members that how to deal, how to create models if they need on bespoke models, and how to feed with the right information parameters. Because if you do something and you do it without rules, then it's worth just for your single project, but it's not shareable with others. The big problem, let's say it's a problem, if you don't speak a common language, then it's not usable. So it's very important we use all the same method, the same language, the same approach, otherwise we cannot share this information. HKI is doing a fantastic work, putting together all the categories of other associations, and they have also a central repository for IFSE data dictionary, and we have a steering committee and we have a working group. So the steering committee is open to all the industry, all that want to embrace the BIM chapter. On the other side, the working group is very technical. It's really for advanced people that create the rules, create and solve the technical problem we have. So we have two working groups working very well and moving forward. The same is doing SINEC. SINEC is actually the same like HKI, but in France, because here, in fact, we have the barrier of the language, but also the French colleagues perfectly bring one-to-one what we have done in Germany and we have done in the United States they bring it on the French level, so that we have covered also the French language. As the same here, you can download then the different, if it's the IFSE parameters or the guideline, everything is on the same level. So you see the big work was to bring all this association together, speaking each other and moving forward in the same direction. The next point is XM with the working group, and the working group is actually again trying to bring forward what we have done on German level or French level or international level, also on European level, to the manufacturer, that they are using the same language, the same standard, the same guidelines. Just a word about the FCSI BIM. We have a repository for manufacturer. They can then store their models in order that these models are available to everybody for free that needs them. Building Smart. Building Smart is an international association, and this is especially for open BIM. So probably you heard about IFSE. This is the industrial foundation classes, which is the open format. And Building Smart is the carrier that spread out this technology worldwide. They have a data dictionary that represents in the different languages the parameters. We cannot invent words, we cannot invent labels. We have to share with them, and there is a big work to do in the next month to check with the data dictionary from Building Smart and what we have done on food service equipment on an IFSE basis, so that we are speaking the same language. So this is a work it's expecting. What to say more about Building Smart? In Germany, we are creating a working group. We need 10 people to create a working group, and this is then very important to move forward, that we will be able, through Building Smart, to publish what we have done in our food service world. And the next step for the next year will be, of course, to do the same on international level. What we have done as pioneer in Germany, we need to do spread out also on an international level, and this is the next step, to create a working group, Building Smart International for food service equipment, in order to have alignment of all the works we have done also on Building Smart for the open BIM solution. Then we have the IFSE, the International Food Service Equipment Parameter Group, which is putting together the work of all the association national-wide, so from the Americas, from Germany, from France, and so on, and put together to one unique document that is shared worldwide. Yes, we have a technical committee that sits together once a year, and if necessary, of course, we have several call conferences during the year in order to bring forward the job. The idea is that we have also a flowchart, rules. Before we publish something, we have to check if these new parameters are really necessary, if there is not a double, if what is the reason why is asked, and then if everything is correct, then we move forward to a motion, and if everybody agrees, we put then in this in the next parameter group. As I said 2 years ago, we have every 3 years the new version. For now, we have the 7.1, IFSE 7.1. The next will be 7.2 or whatever, and it will include all the modification we have done during this working time. The acceptance of the industry. Well, there is still a lot to do. Major manufacturer, leading manufacturer, of course, they are aligned, but there are still a lot of small companies that even doesn't know what it is. And it starts with the circle that we need in order to create working models that don't create problems. And everything starts with a good spec sheet or a product data template. If we don't have this document from the manufacturer, then whoever is doing models will have problems. To have good models, we need good spec sheet or product data template in order to have all the information to create models. And this is also a need to standardize this product data template or spec sheet, because it's very difficult for somebody to find something in one place, something in another place. So by creating a template, and if the industry is following this template, makes life much more easier. So there is a lot to do in this direction, but it's very important we are speaking the same language in order to make life easier. Yeah, we covered, yes. This is the new logo. We have on the top a black and white and a color version for generic, just to say I'm following BIM standard, the IFSE BIM standard. And specifically, we have created the 7.1 logo, black and white and color, in order to say the data I'm delivering are according to this standard. Yeah, this we have created in order to give this information to the public, and somebody that uses that says, okay, I'm aligned with that, perfect. I'm using models with this characteristics. I don't need to check especially. Yeah, this is the idea behind. The wish is then we have on yesterday there was the meeting of the Global Food Service Equipment Supplier, which includes all the association worldwide of food service equipment, and we have a website with the extension BIM, and it's very important to know that all documents on worldwide level will be stored on this level, so on the GFSS. All association have to create a link to this, because it's very difficult to update several platforms. When we have one unique source, so one unique central repository, then it's much easier to update that, and the links from the different association or whatever, they have then the very last version. So we are working on that. The links exist already. We have just to fill it, and this is the work for the next month, and in order to have really a working central repository, so you don't have to look into the web, where can I find something? This will be the home for all documents. So one unique source makes life much easier. Yeah? So the next step, sorry, let's go back. We have to convalidate the draft we are doing, the 7.2, which is including some merging of parameters between US and IFSE. We have added some new parameters that was requested. And we have to do, as I explained before, a comparison with Building Smart Data Dictionary, that there are not wrong names, wrong labels. When we have this stage, then we are sure what we have done is aligned with all the repositories and all the platforms available. As I told before, we have in work in the German group Revit guidelines. We make it update. The problem was that the US guidelines was in Imperial. Now we are creating the metric one. So we will have then a document that covers metric and Imperial. What American colleagues are doing now, revising their guideline, and we are revising and doing the metric one, then we will have at a certain level then alignment between the two guidelines in order that we have not, let's say, different opinion or different statement to approach, how to approach. And then, of course, it will be an English document as well, also in the German and English. And I think then some colleagues we will then make the translation also in French, in Spanish, in Portuguese, which are the most important languages in our world, in food service equipment world, in order that everybody that works, approaches BIM, have a guideline how to create bespoke models, how to fill the parameters, how to share this information with others without conflicts, without problems. This is the idea behind. Yeah? We are also making a material list, just checking what we have done, if there is necessary. Why this? This is very important because the appearance today, you have some 3D, then you have stainless steel, which is completely different than the other. It may create a mess. The picture is not acceptable for rendering. This looks awful, and also to make the life easier for modelers to choose between the table of materials that are fixed already. So this is also a big help for content provider and for later for the rendering, for appearance, to have a nice picture. And we have to find also a solution for MEP, because at the moment, being in the category specialty equipment, we have the possibility to have this connection, but we don't have the possibility to share this with the MEP. So, and also when we export this to IFSE, then we have the problem that we lose these connections, yes? And we have to find out this solution. We are working on that in order to have this covered as well. So these are the next steps. And this is just to update you what has been done in the last 2 years since the last time we met each other. And I'm now here at your disposal for any question on that. Any question?
At yesterday's meeting,
Yes.
is there going to be any follow-up report of BIM from the global meeting?
I think yes. Actually, we have. Who was at the meeting? Diogo is not here. I think there will be a report. Yes. Actually, what is the main point is the site exists, the link exists. We have just to fill it with this information. This is actually a work has to be done in the next month. And this we will keep update also the IFSE group and all the other groups. Yeah. Other question? Everybody's happy? Nice. So I say many thanks. You know that whatever is regarding BIM, here are my contacts. Feel free, and I will bring it forward for everybody. So I'm in a certain way your ambassador of this matter. Yeah? Thank you. Thank you for coming.